Yay Networks.
Hey guys, it's Stephanie,
I'm Trey.
and this is your weekly dose of BS. So my kids went every year. They go on a trip with my parents. This year it was Branson. Actually, pretty much every year it's Branson. I don't know why my parents are so obsessed with Branson, Missouri, but they are.
That's like a one
And
and done place.
yeah, it really, really is. I mean, I think my kids just like to go on a trip with them and,
That's sweet.
but I told my mom because she was like, "I don't know if they had fun." I'm like, "Well, they go on a lot of trips." So I
Yeah,
told her I was like, "Save some money and just take them bowling. You have them come to see you and go bowling or go laser tag. Like they're easy." But there's like 3 cousins and they're like different ages. Like my sister has a 9-year-old son and then I have a 12 and 14-year-old. My parents don't get is all 3 of them get along, but, like, with any older kid, like, a 9-year-old's gonna be real annoying after a while, right?
yeah.
So my sister's kids used to being the baby, Cruz is used to being annoyed, and Chance is, like, doesn't care. So I think Bentley and Cruz drove each other crazy. So yeah, my kids are back, but they did go on this trip to Branson. They went to actually something I would like to go to, which is the Titanic Museum, which I think would be really, really
Oh,
cool.
in a
I've seen it.
landlocked state?
Yeah, I saw
What?
yeah, there's like a Titanic
Oh,
museum, and I guess, you can see, like, how cold the water was, so you can put your hand in like, this thing and see how long you can keep it there. Crew said he kept it for, like, a minute and thought his hand was gonna freeze off, so it
oh
kind
my
of shows you how
gosh.
cold the water is. But I have pictures, it just looks kinda cool. I'm very interested in the Titanic. I don't wanna go down there in a submersible
Nope.
interested, but I just think that would be really interesting. So Crew said it was okay. He was like, "It was kinda sad and okay."
Have you read about this new I was just looking at there's a massive $2 billion theme park the size of Disneyland plopping down in the middle of Oklahoma.
Yeah, so I talked to my mom about that today on my way here because we were talking about that trip, and she was like, I just don't know if the kids had fun." Um, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, they had the best time." And I said, "Mom," and then that's when I told her, I was like, "You should just do something a little closer to home that's not such a deal for you and dad," because at that age, I mean, especially my kids, we travel all the time. They've seen a lot of the world. They just wanna be entertained. I said, "Isn't there something coming up in Oklahoma that's like" you're right, like 200,000,000. I was like, "Something crazy," and then she told me where it was, and she was like, "Yes, but it's 2 years from now."
Yeah.
But I love that Oklahoma's getting something like that. I think that's so incredible. I grew up there, and we
Oklahoma
really
needs something.
they do. I mean, I grew up there. We really didn't have I think we had, like, one I can't even remember what it was called, but we had, like, one amusement park, and it was not really an amusement park. It was, like, you walk around and there, it's, like, crafts, and maybe there's, like, 2 or 3 rides. It was horrible.
Well,
So
this is gonna
they
give Branson a run for its money.
yeah, well, I mean, here's the deal. Branson, I think, is great if you're older. Like, my mom loves Branson, but I think because 'cause you're older, but there it's not really for kids as much as I think my parents believe it is, I mean, they
Yeah.
like, my mom likes to go to the Jesus Plays. I'm not saying my kids don't
Wait,
love the
what?
Lord. Yeah, they have, like, all these like, she took the kids to Queen Esther in the Bible. She took them to, like, some Queen Esther play, and I told her, I was like, "I mean,
Did they love it?
my kids love the Lord, but they probably don't love watching, Queen Esther plays," like, that's something that's not really you have to
Huh.
also think of the people you're with. Are a 9, 12, and 14-year-old gonna love sitting and watching a Queen Esther play for 2.5 hours?
They
No,
sure are.
no, but they did it. Yes, they did it.
Good for them.
And then I guess my, my sister's son had a mental breakdown the last night because, they tried to take his iPad away and make him go to bed. So
Oh,
he
no.
had so yeah, it was very entertaining. Just the stories alone. I actually love when my kids go to my parents because they come back and have all the stories of, uh, what happened. It's very
They're gonna be
entertaining.
traumatized when they're older.
Yeah, but they're also, I think they're doing a lot of these things because I know they're doing that in Oklahoma, but aren't they also doing something in not in Dallas, but on the outskirts
In
of Dallas? It's
Frisco,
yes.
yeah, Universal's doing some, but it's like a little kids, theme park,
Oh, okay, I was
basically.
hoping it would be something that we would wanna go to,
No.
but no.
Yeah, no.
Dang.
Okay, tell everyone about your fabulous excursion you're going on for 2 whole weeks.
Oh my goodness. So I am going on I am going on a cruise on it's with Crystal Cruise Line. I'm super excited. Here's the deal. I'm excited because I think it's going to be really amazing, and it's like one of those cruises where they have a Nobu on board. Okay, like yeah,
Oh.
it's gonna be amazing. So the food's gonna be
Oh.
great. We're going to really great places, which I am excited about. I travel a lot, so it's like when I'm home, I have to get myself ready for another, like mentally prepared for another trip. But this one I'm
Mhm.
excited about because I feel like it's gonna be very much my style. It's gonna be you eat, you like sit at a bar and drink, but it's not crazy. There's not a lot of nightlife. It's right up my alley
It's
because
a
I'm
fancy
not
cruise.
it's a very fancy cruise, which I think
Mhm.
is right up my alley, right? Like,
Yep.
just give me some good food, some good drinks, and a nice they even asked me what kind of pillows I want. That's when you know
Oh.
you're at a good cruise, right? Like, when they give you, like, pillow options. Like, I had to fill out this whole thing of, like, my pillow comfort and what I look for in a pillow, and if I like down or if I like firm. I was like, "This is my kinda cruise right here." Yes.
How
So, I'm
considerate.
excited. Yes, very considerate. So, yeah, they give you, like, all the options, so they make sure that you are just feeling like a queen the whole time.
Oh,
So,
I
yeah,
love that.
I'm really, really, really excited.
Okay, so you've been on 1.5 million trips in your lifetime. What
Yeah.
would you say are, like, your top 2 favorite places? Like, if someone is planning, like, a honeymoon or, like, an
Ooh.
incredible vacation, what should they do and where should they go?
Oh my god. See, I feel like my 2 favorite trips are ones I took with my kids.
Mhm.
And I mean, the Galapagos I think is amazing. I don't know if I'd wanna do a honeymoon there, but I think if you have children and you don't do the Galapagos, you're really missing out in life because it's so, so incredible. I don't know if it's honeymoon-ish though.
Why?
And then
Is it more, like, rainforesty?
I would say it's just like it's so cool, like, you can see all these animals. It's
Mm.
all about the experience. It's really cool to go swimming with turtles and they're not scared of you, these sea turtles, and they're, like, running into you. You're not supposed to pet them, but I may or may not have, like, uh, brush my hand with one. And you have like just every animal you could think of. These birds like feeding their babies, birds that only are there. There's animals that are only there and they're not scared of you. So that's really, really, really cool. The Galapagos. I can't even explain how cool it is. You have to go and experience it. But I think if you have kids, it's an experience that they will never forget. But if I was to go anywhere, South Africa, honestly, I would say South Africa is my favorite place I've ever been. I think with or without children, it is
Mhm.
so beautiful there. Definitely you have to go to Cape Town if you're on your honeymoon or if you want something romantic because that's the most gorgeous place. But it's really cool for the same reason as Galapagos, where the animals, like, you're right there and there's a lion there and they don't even care that you're there. Like, they look at the vehicle as an animal that's bigger than them. They don't understand that there's, like, 7 delicious snacks right there.
I don't know if I love
Um,
that.
yeah, it's very interesting, but, I mean, but if I did it again, I would not we did a little too much of the animal sightseeing. I would do maybe 1. You see everything within, like, 4 days,
Mhm.
whenever you go on whatever it is that the animal drives to look at them, whatever that's called. So, I would only do 1 of
Safari?
those. Safari. I mean, at the end of it, Travis is like that person. He is a very special person. I love this about him. But if he pays for it, he will get his money's worth. So we did safaris. We saw everything kind of after day 4. So the second place we went to for safaris, we had seen everything. So we would go on game drives during the day, but in the evening, it gets cold. Like South Africa in our summer it's hot during the day and freezing at night. So you have to plan for every like summer, winter, everything. You plan for all the seasons. So there's a lot of packing. So at
Mhm.
the end, the rest of us were like, we don't really want to go on these evening game drives. We've seen everything. We don't want to freeze with a little flashlight trying to see if we see some eyes of animals. So Travis was like, well, I paid for it. I'm going to get my money's worth. God bless that man. He would go on game drives by himself sometimes with just like, I mean, Chance, I think
What?
felt bad. So Chance and Cruz would go, but he was like, you know what? I paid, this was such an expensive trip. I'm going to go. So he would just get in the little car with, I'm like, give the guy a day off. Like, he does not want to drive you around with his flashlight, just you, one single man. You've seen everything. But yeah, he would go and look at everything for all of, during all the game drives. But really special. You have to go. If you have the opportunity to go, you should. Also, it is when you get there, it's super cheap. Like you can eat at the nicest steakhouse for like $12 and have
Yeah,
the
getting
best
there is the
wine.
expensive part.
Yeah, getting there is the expensive part, but once you're there, it's very, very, very cheap. I will
Mhm.
definitely say that. What is the best place that you've been to?
Hmm, I don't know. I feel like best like trip I've taken as far as like food was great, experience was great,
Uh-huh.
was the Virgin Cruise. That was like just because it was adults only. But
Yeah.
like the entertainment was good, the ship was new, my trip was actually free. That made it really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But like
That
I've
makes it extra special.
but since then I've booked for us to go on another Virgin Cruise and 100% worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't ask me my pillow preference, but I'm gonna put that in the comment card for
Well,
next time.
that's because 'cause you're not staying Crystal Cruise Line,
Yep.
but, bring your own pillows if you care that much.
Yeah,
We take
you're a
our own
big
pillows.
pillow packer.
I am, because I hate bad pillows. I can't sleep. I cannot
Yeah.
sleep if it's a bad pillow. But you know what? I go home, and when I was younger, I slept on marbles. I swear to God. I'm like, what in the world are these pillows, mom and dad?" I they have, like, they almost feel like little marbles in them, like little almost knots
Uh-huh.
in their pillows. That's what I'm getting them for Christmas. Not for them, but for myself. I'm like, "Put these in the guest room immediately. I cannot sleep at your house." It is first of all, it's like mountains. It is like you're climbing a mountain with your head, so your neck hurts the next day. It's so uncomfortable. They buy the fattest, biggest pillows, and then they feel like marbles inside. They're so uncomfortable. It's almost like knots in them. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. I travel a lot and I love going on trips, but also I am one of those people who is very much somebody who needs to be home. I think Travis fills up when he's around people. People completely deplete me. Like if I am not at home, if I don't have structure, it really does a number on my mental health and my anxiety. I get very anxious if I'm not home also because I love having like the same thing to do every day. I don't know.
Stephanie's favorite place to go is to the couch.
Exactly, like, from the couch to the fridge and back, and maybe on a walk, like, I'm a very simple person. So for me, I have learned through therapy that, there are certain people in life who really like, Travis is one of those people, he, like, fills himself up being around others, others fill him, and for me total opposite happens when I'm around a lot of people for a long period of time. They completely deplete my energy. So for me, the only way to really fill that back up is to have time to myself, to go on walks, to be home, to really take care of myself and my mental health. And then I fill myself up. And then when I go out next time, they will deplete me again. And then I'll come home and do the same thing. But I didn't realize that people were like that people who are introverts, um, really they're like that because that's where they feel the safest. That's where they just feel filled up. And the reason that we don't love always being out is because it is kind of sensory overload, and it's very depleting.
But I feel like over the years through therapy, you've learned how to balance that and know that, like, you going out, like, and doing things 7 nights a week is not you. But you've
Yeah.
learned through therapy that, like, no, I'm going to go, like, to an event one night, and I'm going to stay at home, like, the next two or three.
Yes, yes. I had all these feelings and I really wasn't able to work out what they were until I started seeing a therapist, and then it kind of all made sense. And I used to dread things before I got there, and now I don't. Now I kind of put it in perspective, like it's going to be 5 hours. It's fine. You've got this. And then, yeah. So you have to kind of advocate for yourself and also put things into perspective, which I had a really hard time doing.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/weeklydose today to get 10% off of your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/weeklydose.
What's the worst trip you've taken besides the one where they lost your luggage recently?
That would be probably one of the I mean, it was nice, but horrible at the same time because you just feel gross the whole time. I hate Vegas.
Okay, I do too. I don't know why I'm here.
I like
I
it's like my least favorite place to go.
literally walk outside, it feels like I'm standing in an oven.
Yes.
It's like it's a dry heat, but it's heat. It's like 118 at night.
Yeah, it's just I don't love Vegas. I don't love gambling, first of all. I'll
Mhm.
go to, like, Oklahoma, but because my grandma probably is a little bit of an addict, and I will go and play penny slots, but it's not because I like it, it's because I like spending time with her and, she's getting older. But, I don't love gambling. I don't love wasting money. I'd rather go shopping than, like,
Yes, that's what
play
I've done this trip.
cards. Yeah. I don't love I mean, I guess if you go to shows, it can be
Mhm.
good, but other than that, I have no desire.
Oh my
What?
gosh, I can't believe
What?
I totally missed this. Our first night here,
Uh-huh.
I was looking for a show for us to go to. It was Sunday night, and I, like, was trying to look I don't know what I was trying to sort by, but I accidentally hit low to high price-wise, and the
Okay.
first thing that popped up was this show called Puppetry of the Penis.
Oh my that was like what was it, $5?
I said, "Book." It was actually $25.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
expensive.
It's a little
So you
expensive.
booked so you booked the
Of
puppetry.
course. And I did not tell the other people who I was going with what I booked. I was like, "I got us tickets. Don't worry about it, guys. It's gonna be great." I had no idea. But it had great reviews.
Really? Like, people loved it.
They said it was hysterical, best show they've seen in Vegas. I think joke was actually on the people that were reading the reviews because oh my gosh, this was weird. These two men came out
What
in a
was
robe.
it?
These two men came
Okay.
out in a robe and literally dropped their robes and they were there naked and they had a puppet show with their wieners.
Wait, they had, like, a little puppet on their thingies?
No, they were like contorting their wieners into like different shapes.
What? How can you do
I don't
that? How big
I
were
don't
these said wieners?
I they weren't like, wasn't the biggest thing I've ever seen, but it was I don't even
What?
know how to explain it to you, but next time you're in town, I highly recommend you go. 'Cause
Wait, they didn't even have anything on them?
no,
They just were like,
they literally got on stage and they were just naked, and it was like I sat there just in shock the
"Oh
entire hour that I had to endure
my
this. It
gosh."
was like they would use their man bits to, like, make different shapes. I don't know how
Like,
to
tell
explain
me
it.
2 shapes. Tell me 2
They made a
shapes, 'cause I
hamburger.
Ah! How? Oh my god, okay, hamburger, what else?
And then
Like,
what
they
was
had to join forces or one person could make the
no, 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 they
hamburger?
were separate shapes.
Okay.
I mean, they had, like, a little hot dog. They did an Eiffel Tower.
Oh my
They did
gosh.
it was
Were
fascinating.
they, like, talented? Did it look
Uh,
like an Eiffel Tower?
I mean, until they told me it was an Eiffel Tower, I wasn't quite sure what he was doing.
How long was this show?
A little over an hour.
Okay, so whenever you said puppetry of penis, I'm gonna tell you, I thought something very, very different. You want me to tell you what I
What'd
thought?
you think?
Okay. I thought that they, like, talked with their pee hole. They, like, moved it.
Oh, no.
Have you ever done that?
No.
I've done that to Travis before.
You do your own puppetry of penis show. But
He
this was
gets
the
so
best
annoyed. He's
and
like, "You're
worst.
so disgusting." And I'm
This
like, "What?"
oh, well. This was the best and worst money I've ever spent. I was like,
What did
"Oh."
everyone else think? Were they like,
I Everyone else with me was like, "That was surprisingly good." And I was like, "Are y'all wait,
"Oh
what?"
my god, Trey,
I
you
was
are
so
with easy to
confused.
please people." Okay, so it was a whole hour of what did they do, like, a musical number, or they were just talking?
No, they were just swinging their wieners around in different
So they were
shapes.
like, "Hamburger,
Literally,
Eiffel
that was
Tower."
like yes! And they've done this in, like, 8 different countries.
Oh my god, we could do this,
They have
Trey.
multiple shows. Well, I
I
don't know
need
if
you to
we could
practice.
do this,
No,
but
I'm gonna be the, I'll be like the one that puts it all together, and then you need to really if there are 8 countries, you could do this. I will help you. I'll
I
just
was
take, like,
just
20% off the top.
Oh, great. I was just sitting there thinking the whole time, like, what do you like tell grandma you do at Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah, that's so
How do you explain
strange.
that?
Yeah, you need to get home because that's a very weird. Did you see any other shows? Because I feel like you're that person that always goes to good shows. You always go to good concerts. Nothing
Well,
else, just the puppetry one.
no, I mean, we're here like during the weekday. There's nothing good happening. One of
What are
my
you
friends
there
is,
for exactly?
well, I really shouldn't have come. Zach had a work conference
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "Hey, you want to come?" And I was like, "You know what? What's yours is mine now because we're married, including half that hotel room. So yeah, I'm coming." And
Good.
then I
Yeah.
got here and I was like, "I hate Vegas."
Yeah.
Like I like Vegas for like 3 days at most.
Yeah, and I mean, you are in the Vegas age range. I think when I was in my no, not really. I think it was in my early 20s. I liked Vegas, maybe early to mid 20s. But now, no, 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 no,
It's
no.
just it never ceases to amaze me how many people bring young, like stroller age kids here.
Oh, never. There's
I
no way.
just
No,
like everything's far. This just isn't really like, a kid's playground.
no, no, no. Yeah,
So,
it's not my favorite. It is not my favorite place whatsoever.
it's
Um,
honestly this and Miami are probably two of my least favorites. I think those are both places it's like 3 days in and out. Let's go.
I would
Honestly,
agree.
two.
I like Miami, but for 2 or 3 days. For 2
Hmm.
or 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the end of this week is a big, week for me because I am finally closing on this house.
Yes.
Yes, and, we, like, got a price with Trey and I actually bet on the price, and he won. We were
So
$3,000
good.
off. I was like, "I bet you he's going to this price," and Trey said, "I bet you it's this," and it was the price. I swear I think Trey called the realtor, and he was like, "Listen, we'll settle at this price," and it was, like, his price, and I almost was like, "No, we have to go back," but then I said, "No, this person may know who you are, and that would be embarrassing. You can't fight over $3,000." Um, so I put my pride aside, but the good news, for me, but the bad news for the seller,
Yeah.
I'm getting a new roof.
Yeah, you got a sweet deal on that house
Yeah, I had
with
no
the new
idea.
roof and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so the roof, had a little bit of damage from a tree, I guess, so yeah, I get a new roof, which is so exciting, I'm excited. I cannot wait to get this done because, um it's a lot of work. I had no idea. First of all, the inspections, everything you do, everything very different than I did when I bought a house in Oklahoma back in my day.
Mhm.
You can like pick out your like what you want them to look at. Like there are three different. I had to call. I was like, Trey, what do I pick? What are my? I have three options for inspections. But I feel like everything is very different. It's very much like you do everything on your phone.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, yeah, that's how you send um, I mean, any money is up through, like, an
Yeah.
app, you schedule everything, yes, it's different.
And we had the inspector that we had, I really appreciated him.
Oh my
I
gosh.
Because he was so thorough. He got on the phone for like 45 minutes and he didn't get paid a lot. So I really appreciated how thorough he was for how much he
Well,
got paid.
this man was, like, 85 years old, and
Yes.
we were sitting on the phone, and Curtis on this call with us, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is taking forever." And we got off and I called him and he was like, "That was terrible." And I was like, "But you know what? That man went through that house like Stephanie's dad would have, and he
Yeah.
checked every little thing and made a note about every, wall that had a piece of chipped
Uh,
paint." Like,
yeah, I appreciated it. I
yeah,
appreciated it. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, Trey, you need to get home soon because
man,
you cannot see any more of
I'm out
those.
of Peanuts puppet shows to see.
Yeah, nothing else, nothing else. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Holman on pretty much everything.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart, and you can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.